Do your beats have too much bass? I got the answers for you. Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. If you're new here, I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. We've trained over 700,000 producers around the world. Some have gone to work with Drake, Kanye West, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, Ray Sherman, French Montana, NBA Youngboy. I'm missing a whole bunch of people. And the list goes on and on and on with the Billboard charting artists. So shout out to you guys for being successful. Today we're going to focus on how to tame your bass. So this is super simple. I've made the mistake a billion times over because we love 808s as producers, but when it comes to a song, we forget to tame the bass a little bit. I know it sounds like a cardinal sin to tame bass, but sometimes, now this song is just a beat, but imagine if it had vocals over it and it's just everything's fighting for attention. Think of your beat as like a room, and then imagine the room being full of just water, like what do you call it? Like a tank, and it just gets full of water. The problem is your bass is like a lot of water, and then the vocals are trying to sit on top, and they can't, they just can't fill up the tank. It's just there's no room for them. So what we have to do is clear some room. So this track is very low mid focused and bass focused. Now there's more to this, and again, we're making a new course called How to Fix Bad Mixes. It's coming out soon to our premium section, which is at premium.busyworksbeats.com. And we already have a course out for beat makers specifically on how to mix beats. It's called Mix Genius. So you can just go to busyworksbeats.com/Mix Genius, and I'll leave the link below because it goes into more depth than just this step, and I want to make sure you understand that. So the first thing is I'll pull up it's called Dynamics. This is a multi-band compressor by iZotope. Now the first thing you could do is just do a general compression. Okay, so we're gonna solo this, just left click. So this is what we're taming, just all this low energy. Like it's there, but it doesn't need to be all the way up here. It's filling up the tank. Okay, so you can add a compressor here just to tame that, and you have to shape it with some attack and release settings. Now it depends on the song and how long your 808s are and all this type of stuff. Generally speaking, you want to capture the beginning of your 808 and then the very end just before it goes to another 808. So all that middle part you want to compress. So that's where you have to understand the attack and release times. We go over all this stuff in the course to come soon called How to Fix Bad Mixes. Also in Mix Genius, we cover certain techniques. So don't be afraid to compress your bass. I want to give you permission. It's okay to compress your bass. It's okay. Now we're not compressing everything below, we're just compressing everything below 90. Now again, this is not something you apply to every single song. This setting, at 94. Now if you're not comfortable with this, you could even pull it lower, so you're only dealing with the sub stuff. Now I'm exaggerating this so you can hear the compression. But you want to find that kind of middle ground where it's just enough rumble, but not too much where it eats up all the space. So let's bypass this. Listen to how much room that bass takes up. Now with the compression, it's still there, but it's not eating up the entire tank, so to speak, of perception. Now one more step people don't even understand is that you could switch this to mid-side mode. So you can handle both the middle stuff and the stuff on the sides, or the stereo stuff. So let's start with the stereo stuff first. And this is where most of your mud exists. So most of the excess bass and the excess reverb bass are in the sides, and you tend to, not you, I don't know you personally, but people tend to overlook this. So let's solo this. Because do we need this on our sides? And the question is a creative question, because sometimes we want that bass to be nice and wide. Like this is more like a Travis Scott type. Not Travis Scott, what's his name? Sheck West. So the bass has to be wide. But how wide does it have to be, and which frequencies have to be wide? So here's where you're going to make that decision. And I'm just going to overly compress so you could hear. So I'm just taming those frequencies, pulling them down. Now again, I'm overly compressing. So now it feels like a smoother experience. It doesn't feel like this blob of stuff. And then you could solo the mids or the center image. See how much room that takes up? That takes up so much room. It's so boomy. So we can get some of the boomy tone, but without it eating up the entire tank. So again, there's going to be that middle ground. And now we gave room for the vocals to sit in here, for other instruments to sit in there. Now, if you're really trying to bring back the bass, there's other techniques you could do. And I'm not going to get into every single technique, but you could resaturate the lows. Just as a way to kind of fill up the harmonics again after shaving everything down. That's just one of the many techniques. So here's without. Listen to how boomy that sounds. Now again, when you add vocals and everything, that's when the bass becomes a problem. So now we still have the bass presence, but it's not eating up all that space where the vocal would be and other stuff. And again, when you do this step, there's more steps you can add to bring back that bass. Once you've tamed everything and controlled everything, then you can bring it back if you need it to. So there's a lot more to it. So I'll leave a link below. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/mixgenius. Thanks for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace.